Hello everyone! This is teacher Lister again. Welcome back to our class. Today, we will answer pages 31 and 32 in our English workbook. But before that, let's sing first our new song for this week, which is entitled Baby Shark.
Mommy shark, do 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 do. Mommy shark.
Daddy shark, do 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 do. Daddy shark, do 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 do. Daddy shark, do 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 do. Daddy shark.
Grandma shark, do 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 do. Grandma shark, do 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 do. Grandma shark, do 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 do. Grandma shark.
Grandpa shark, do 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 do. Grandpa shark, do 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 do. Grandpa shark, do 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 do. Grandpa shark. Let's go hunt, do 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 do. Let's go hunt, do 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 do. Let's go hunt, do 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 do. Let's go hunt.
Run away, do 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 do. Run away, do 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 do. Run away, do 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 do. Run away. Safe at last, do 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 do. Safe at last, do 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 do. Safe at last, do 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 do. Safe at last. It's the end, do 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 do. It's the end, do 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 do. It's the end, do 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 do. It's the end.
Very good, everyone. Now please get your English workbook, this book again, and open it to page 31. Page 31 looks like this. And here we have activity 4 about letter D, and an activity 5 about letter E, activity 6 about letter F, and activity 7 about letter G. Let's learn first about these letters, the D, E, F, and G, before we start answering. This is letter D. D sounds D. D, D. D, D. D, D. This is letter E. E sounds E. E, E. E, E. E, E. And this is letter F. F sounds F, F, F. And last one, letter G. G sounds G. G, G. G, G. G, G. Okay, let's go back to page 31. And let's start here in activity 4. Okay, here we will circle the objects which begin with letter D. Okay, remember this is letter D. Let's name things first before we start answering. Duck, duck. Dog, dog. Car, car. Very good. Now please get your pencil, okay? Duck begins with this letter. That sounds D. Okay, is this letter the same with this one? Is it letter D? Yes. So let's circle the duck. Okay, how about this one, the dog? Dog begins with this letter. That sounds D. Dog. Is this the same with this letter here? Yes. So let's circle the dog. How about the car? Car begins with this letter that sounds K. Is this letter D just like this one? No. So we will not circle it, okay? Next, activity 5. We'll encircle the objects here that begin with letter E. Okay, E sounds E. Let's name these things first. Cat, cat. Egg, egg. Ear, ear. Very good. Cat begins with this letter that sounds K. Okay, is this letter the same with this one, letter E? No. Okay, so we will not encircle the cat. How about the egg? It begins with this letter that sounds E. Is this letter the same with this one, letter E? Yes. So let's circle the egg. Okay. Next, ear. Ear begins with this letter that sounds E. Is this letter E just like this one? Yes. So let's circle the ear. Alright. E with A here sounds E. So it will be read as ear. Okay. Now, let's go to activity 6. Okay, we will encircle the objects which begin with letter F here. Okay, F sounds. Okay, let's name these things first. Frog, frog, fan, fan, hat, hat. Very good. Frog begins with this letter that sounds. Is this letter the same with this letter, letter F? Yes. So let's circle the frog. Okay. Next is fan. Fan begins with this letter that sounds. Is this letter F just like this one? Yes. So let's circle the fan. Okay. Next is the hat. Hat begins with this letter that sounds. Is this letter F just like this one? No, so we will not encircle the hat. Last activity. Activity 7. We will encircle the objects which begin with letter G here. Okay, G sounds G. Alright, let's name the things first. Hat, hat. Goat, goat. Girl, girl. Very good. This is a hat, and hat begins with this letter that sounds. Is this letter G just like this one? No, it's not. Okay. How about this? The goat. Goat begins with this letter. It sounds G. Is this letter G just like this one? Yes, so let's circle the goat. Last one. Girl. Girl begins with this letter that sounds G. Is this letter G just like this one? Yes. So let's circle the girl. Okay. Are you done? Very good. Now let's go to page 32. Page 32 looks like this. And here we have activity 8 about letter H, activity 9 about letter I, activity 10 about letter J, and activity 11 about letter K. Let's learn first about these letters, letter H, I, J, and K before we start answering. This is letter H. H sounds H, H, and this is letter I. I sounds E. I, E. I, E. Next is letter J. J sounds J. J, J. J, J. Next letter is K. K sounds K. K, K. Very good. Now let's go back to page 32 and let's begin with activity 8. Here, we will encircle the objects which begin with letter H. H sounds. Okay, let's name these things first. Ice cream, ice cream. Hat, hat. House, house. Very good. Ice cream begin with this letter that sounds I. Okay, the second sound of letter I. I. It has two sounds, remember? E and I. Okay, here in the word ice cream, it begins with the sound I. What letter is this one? Is this letter H just like this? No, it's not. Okay. Now, how about this hat? It begins with this letter that sounds okay. Is this letter H just like this one? Yes. So let's circle the hat. Now, how about the house? House begins with this letter that sounds okay. Is this letter the same with this one, letter H? Yes. So let's circle the house. Okay. Now let's go to page 9. Here we will encircle the object which begin with letter I. Okay. Let's name these things first. Face. Face. Ice cream. Ice cream. Ink. Ink. Okay. Face begins with this letter that sounds face. Is this letter the same with this one, letter I? No, it's not. Okay, next one. Ice cream. This begins with this letter which sounds I. Okay, the second sound of I because it has two sounds, E and I. Here in the word ice cream, it begins with the letter that sounds I. Okay, what's the name of this letter? Is this letter I just like this one? Yes. So let's circle the ice cream. Last one here in activity 9, ink. Ink begins with this letter that sounds I. Okay, what letter is this one? Is this letter I just like this? Yes. So let's circle the ink. Okay. Now let's go to activity 10. We will circle the objects here which begin with letter J. Okay, J sounds J. Alright. This is a jog. Jog begins with this letter that sounds J. Okay, is this letter J just like this one? Look. Yes. So let's circle the jog. Okay. Next is jam. Jam begins with this letter J. Okay, jam, J. What letter is this one? Is this letter J just like this? Yes. So let's circle the jam. Okay. Next is the hat. Hat begins with this letter that sounds okay, is this letter the same with this? No, it's not letter J. This is letter H. So we will not encircle the hat. Now let's go to activity 11. Okay, here we will circle the objects which begin with letter K. K sounds K. Alright, let's name these things first. Leg. Leg. Kettle. Kettle. Key. Key. Very good. Leg begins with this letter that sounds L. Is this letter K just like this one? No. So, we will not circle this. Next is the kettle. Does kettle begins with letter K? Okay, look at this letter. It sounds, is it letter K just like this? Yes. So, let's circle the kettle. Last one, key. Key begins with this letter that sounds K. Is this letter K just like this? Yes. So, let's circle the key. Alright, that's the end of our lesson.
Good job for today, kids! See you again in our next lesson. Take care and goodbye!